First Sip Brew Box is a one-of-a-kind subscription service for craft beer lovers based right here in Pittsburgh. Every month, First Sip will send you a box full of craft beer enthusiast essentials, including t-shirts, glassware, and even food. Right now, our friends at First Sip Brew Box have an offer for you. Just sign up for a 3-month subscription and get your 4th month free. Just enter the code HOPUSA when you sign up at firstsipbrewbox.com. That's HOPUSA at checkout to get your 4th month free at firstsipbrewbox.com.
Woe to you, O earth and sea.
It's the Hop Nation
USA Podcast.
Hi, it's 103. We're doing this again.
With enthusiasm.
It's whatever.
Great. Moving on. This week we're joined by Katie, our field reporter.
Oh, shit, I'm dead.
We're taking a very soft, lazy approach to the show nowadays.
We're going to ease into this one just a little bit.
Yep.
So,
Marching into spring.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Somehow everybody got seasonal affective disorder in late April.
right.
Makes sense.
How can you be sad while wearing shorts?
I'm not wearing shorts.
I'm also not wearing shorts.
I am wearing shorts. And guess what? I'm just a little sad.
I'm sad too. Stout season is over.
Stout season is never over.
I know. It's a lie.
I feel like people are pushing white stouts now, so maybe that'll be like a spring thing.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Transition beer.
I like it.
Hell yes. I'm into it.
Take that cold snap, throw it out the window, and replace it with a white stout.
Hell yes.
Ugh.
So I'm Adam.
Or just always throw that cold snap out. Do whatever.
That's Steve.
And
There
then
you
there's
go.
Katie.
And there's Katie.
Field reporter Katie.
There you go. We're all set.
Yes.
Wow.
So, Katie is back on the show because she is our field reporter and she has brought us 3 more beers
Yay.
from another state, commonwealth, or district of the United States.
Nice.
Yeah. This time it's
Yep.
the District of Columbia. We've got DC beers.
Yay.
Hurrah.
Yes.
Hurrah. Mark it off the list of 51 or 52. I forget what we decided on.
Well, it was the 50 states.
Right.
Then we had District of Columbia.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm not sure if we were going to try to go for Puerto Rico or not.
Right. That might be like a rum show.
That might be. Or that might be the culmination of the entire podcast. Like if we get Puerto Rican beers,
Yeah.
hey, we're done after that.
Fair enough.
We're
Yeah.
just, you know what? We've reached the peak.
I don't want to get anybody's hopes up, but I might be able to procure Guam beer.
Oh, okay.
So we could just go full territories.
I like it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Protectorates and territories.
Or we could just do a territory episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Hop Territory USA.
So I wonder if there are, or not are, but how many Puerto Rican breweries there are.
There's at least 3.
Okay. So we should write to them and say, hey,
Send us beers.
send us beers.
And we'll review them.
Right. And it's all within the United States, so we don't have to worry about international laws or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. Or you just send it FedEx with a bunch of sunflower seeds and everything's okay that way.
What?
Sunflower seeds make it sound like there's not beer in there.
Oh. I hadn't even bothered with that. I was visiting a friend whenever I got these beers, and when I got home, I sent her back some crowlers, Mindful, Cinderlands, I don't remember what else. But yeah, no, I just stuck them in a flat rate and sent them.
Yeah.
I didn't even bother masking it.
Yeah, I mean, if you pack it yourself, FedEx and UPS and DHL, you can all send things that way, and it's not illegal. It's just frowned upon. They won't take it if you try to pack it with them.
Oh.
I did not know that.
Yeah, but it's highly illegal to send it to the through the post service.
So don't do that.
I
Don't-
didn't do that.
Right. I'm just saying for listeners out in the world who are thinking about getting into trading and or just shipping beer, it's frowned upon for the other ones, but
Yes. And there are couriers out there that will, curry.
yeah. Well,
Alcohol.
that's because they have licenses.
Correct.
Like those carriers have licenses to ship, but the USPS doesn't have a license or whatever. I don't know what the reason is, but it's just super illegal.
Yeah.
So don't do
I'm
it.
pretty sure it's just the man coming down on us.
Yeah, because when you get it through Tavor, it ships to Harrisburg, I think, for us, and then there's a private shipping company that'll bring it to your door.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
QCS, QTS, something like that.
Yeah.
Quick
Yeah.
time service, I think.
Yeah, and they have a special license for sending beer around, so yeah.
Yes.
That's how that works. But let's move on
Yeah.
to the first beer of the evening. Katie, why don't you introduce it?
Okay, so this is Atlas Brewworks Dance of Days. It is a Citra and Mosaic Pale Ale. It is brewed by the Atlas Brewworks LLC, Washington, D.C. And we have 5.7% ABV, 30 IBUs. So you may survive.
I might. I will persevere.
4 SRM.
Oh, gonna be nice and light.
Oh, here we
It's
go.
a pale ale.
It's in the name.
Pair with
Uh-huh.
sharp cheddar,
Ooh.
pad thai,
Oh.
house shows.
Oh.
Huh.
I don't know what to make of that.
So
House shows as in like back in the days when your friend had a shitty band and you went to see that shitty band and there's like 4 other shitty bands playing all in the same party house of like a latchkey kid whose parents went out of town all the time.
Oh god, I went to so many of those, but that's not what my brain thinks of when I think of house shows.
Okay.
I think of house music like
Oh, okay, yeah.
yeah, that
Could be that
crap.
too, yeah.
Not a fan.
yeah, the Shitty Beatles. It's not just a clever name.
Revolution Summer Heartophone. There's a lot of words on this can. The Revolution Summer of '85 cranked out voices of vindication that echoed DC's punk days of yore.
No, this is definitely going to the bad kid's house.
Yeah. Devoid of debauchery and incited with idealism, local bands turned up the volume on creative protest with music at the heart of the movement. Okay.
So we're drinking this with Bad Brains, and that's
So
about it.
DC was partying
Bad
to
Brains
tear down
and
that wall.
Black Flag.
And Dave Grohl will be there.
And Fugazi was also DC too, I believe.
Was it?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Relatively sure.
I say Black Flag was just touring back then. They were not DC based. I don't
Yeah, they
think.
were.
Were they really?
Yeah.
Why was I thinking they were West Coast?
I don't know. Well, I think that there was a time that they lived out on, at least Rollins lived out on the West Coast.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
Maybe it
of.
was that Rollins was from DC.
Henry,
That's
not
what I'm
Seth.
thinking. Right.
Henry Rollins is an American hero.
Seth Rollins is from Davenport, Iowa. Thank you very much.
Why do you know
You-
that?
I watched.
Because you watch wrestling and they announce it every time he comes out.
And I believe that's also the home of Iowa
I feel
University.
like you both
University of
got
Iowa.
jilted.
Could be the home of Iowa University. Could also be home to Slipknot. Doesn't
Maybe. Who knows?
well, Slipknot is from Iowa.
No,
I just
I
don't
agree
know if
with
they're
that.
from Davenport.
Slipknot is touring this year.
They sure are.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't get excited for fucking music anymore.
Oh,
It's all emptied out.
it's just a husk of what it once was.
I mean, I've seen everything, I think.
No, there's something else
Yeah,
out there.
I've seen everything that I can that I want to. Like, I never got to see AC/DC.
That is the one regret that I have.
I think that's about it for me.
I would see the Rolling Stones just to do it, just
Yeah.
because it's so iconic.
Yeah, I saw them twice,
I
so
would-
I'm done.
See, I haven't seen them. I would do AC/DC. Zeppelin's obviously never going to happen because some people are bastards.
They happened once in 2009, and that was it.
The Beatles?
No.
Zeppelin.
Oh, Led Zeppelin. I was gonna say.
I don't think the Beatles
Yeah.
are getting back together.
No.
I feel like there's a few things impeding that.
Yeah.
Holograms, bring them back.
Oh, yeah. Could do a Beatles Tupac mashup.
Yes. All right, we're stopping the show.
No,
Drink beer.
we're not stopping the show just for a Beatles Tupac mashup.
What?
Give a shit about that.
Well, maybe
would be
some of us do.
Awful. So bad.
That'd be awful fantastic.
Just go on bestofbooty.com. I'm sure there's some mashups on there already.
Probably.
Best of boot. I don't know what that is.
It's a mashup website. It's all for mashup music and stuff. DJs, yeah, DJs put their stuff up there, like DJ Morgoth.
DJ More Goth?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I don't. We can get into that later.
And the 8 dozen DJ Tanners that are out there.
Oh God, shut up.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I don't think you're right. I don't know. I'm far more entrenched in DJ culture than you are.
Okay.
There's Marshmallow. And,
Wow. I didn't realize that was a person until like 2 weeks ago.
oh yeah.
I just always saw it on my radio. I was like, what is this marshmallow thing? So you really can't see too much through this. It's kind of
It's a little bit hazy.
surprising how.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does have that. It does have that pale 4 on the SRM. It's
Yeah.
not very dark at all. It's a little bit hazy. You can't see too much through it, but it's not a juice bomb New England IPA style.
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah.
It's got a little fruit on the nose.
Yeah, a little fruity hoppy.
I'm actually getting more fruit than hop.
Same.
You gonna live?
I will personally.
Adam shall survive.
Yes, I've done it before and I can do it again.
Yeah, right on.
It's really mild.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean, 30. So
Yeah, this beer is pretty mild. It's nice, easy, it's drinkable. I can see why it's like a house show drinking beer. It's not too offensive in any way.
It does have a kind of a bitter back end.
yeah, I'll
Little
agree
bit.
with that.
It's it starts out nice and citrusy, but then it's got that bitterness to it. And it does have a bit of a bitter aftertaste as well. It does have a bit of the residue.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it hangs in there.
It's not just anger inducing, but it's there.
Well, then I don't know how it goes with house shows.
It's supposed to be anger inducing, Adam.
I don't know. Kids these days don't listen to anything hard. They just like to stare at their phones and shuffle their feet. So,
Well, yeah, that's what the Xanax is for.
Kids are just slamming Xannies and shuffling around to the music with no melody.
Mumble rap.
Everybody sucks. I'm old and everybody sucks. And I'm right.
Back in my day, we had Jay Giles Band and Grand Funk
You don't have
Railroad.
that anymore. Jay Giles is dead.
Wow. We're going full curmudgeon here. Never go full curmudgeon.
Adam was moshing to Freeze Frame,
Oh my God.
1995.
I'm a centerfold man myself.
Jesus. Moving on, segment 1. News, notes, and neat. Jay Giles is dead.
That
Say,
is
wasn't that Jesus
neither
Lizard?
news or neat.
We don't have Kurt Loder to tell us these things anymore, so
That's right. Goddamn kids. Took away our Kurt Loaders and our Tabitha Sorensens. You can all go kick rocks. I'm sick of you.
there's nothing right in this world anymore. So what do you got for news, nose, and neat?
Okay, so quick one. Penn Brewery's going to can beers. Yards is going to can beers. And Brew Gentlemen are going to can beers. Not much really to say about that,
Yeah,
other than
just-
that those breweries are now joining the trend of canning beers.
Can and I assume limited distribution.
Probably. Well, I mean, Yards is pretty big distro.
Well,
so
yeah.
Yeah.
You can expect to see Yards. Brew Gentlemen, being that they've never really done anything but growler fills before, that's completely new. And then Penn will probably just replace,
All their bottles.
Yeah.
replace their bottles, which are cans.
The Brew Gentleman is super exciting, though.
You might be able to get in Market District instead
Definitely
of driving
interested
2
in
fucking
that.
tunnels.
I saw Mindful. Mindful is canning and distributing. I saw them the other day up on a shelf next to Helltown. It was a good day.
Oh yeah, Helltown's out and about in the world now.
Yeah.
So I wonder.
That happened while we were doing like interviews and such.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we were out and about in the world.
While we were out and about.
I take for granted what people don't know. My friend texted me like 2 days ago and she was like, Helltown bought Rivertown. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, I didn't know. And I'm like, oh, sorry. Well, by the way, Helltown bought Rivertown.
Well, sounds like your friend needs to subscribe to the Hop Nation USA podcast, found on Stitcher, Podbean, iTunes,
And Google Music Play.
and Spotify. So she can stay up to the minute.
Ew.
Every Friday. Every Friday. Just search Hop Nation USA. But yeah, that was my quick little one.
Okay.
Adam?
So I'm gonna be a little more not so quick.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, the Game of Thrones
Jesus.
television show is out and about.
Yes.
It
It came back.
Yes, it's displacing Bob Burger's reruns on Sunday nights.
Blasphemy.
For some people.
Apparently, for some people,
Yeah.
I don't even get HBO. I've never watched an episode of the show.
Neither have I.
Not Bob's Burgers. That is a delight. But Game of Thrones.
I have, so nobody flip out that there's a whole bunch of people here that haven't watched it because people seem to have a stroke over that. Two things that anger people violently is when you say I haven't watched Game of Thrones and when I tell people I haven't watched Star Wars. People lose their damn minds.
That's they all have those strong feelings.
Oh, yeah.
Same with Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick and Morty people
I
will
like
tell
Rick
you
and
about
Morty, but
Yeah.
I'm not preachy about it.
right,
you
but
know?
there are preachy people about it. So
Yeah.
No, but the Game of Thrones television series is in its final season. And of course, there is an official brewery for the Game of Thrones television series. That is Ommegang.
Yes.
They're out of Cooperstown, New York. And I read an article, but they talked with one of the management types over there at the Ommegang, and they talked about what kind of impact the TV show has had on the brewery. And they gave some numbers. Apparently, the Game of Thrones beers, if you are not in the know, every year Ommegang provided a one-off beer for each season of the show.
I think they did a little more than that, but
I think they had them for like each house also.
yeah, they did.
Okay.
Yeah, they did a couple ones, but you're right. They did do one for every season. But I also think they had a couple more side projects as well.
Which So
Yeah.
so
there's
for
a few of 'em.
for the
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, series of beers, it had an impact of over $1 million annually
Wow.
to the brewery.
Neat.
And in some years, it was up to 25% of their total sales.
Jesus.
Was from those beers themselves.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, obviously, with this being the last year, they're looking forward to what they're going to do after the Game of Thrones series is complete. And they are done brewing the Game of Thrones beers. They're done.
Right.
They're going to lean more onto the IPA side. They're going to try to roll into their Brute IPA and their New England style IPA. Their Neon Rainbows. Haven't had it. I might. What I found most interesting was the amount of beer that has been produced by Ommegang has actually gone down in the last 3 years.
Okay.
It has gone down by over 20%
Huh.
in total barrels, which I find very interesting because I've seen them more and more.
Yeah. Well, I also think you're seeing more and more of the Game of Thrones ones.
Exactly.
Because I don't. It's harder and harder to find like Rosetta, but I see the bombers of whatever Game of Thrones thing is out. So
right.
yeah.
So they have that exposure, but they don't have the numbers.
Sounds like they need to pick up another license.
Is Eastbound and Down still up and running?
No.
All right.
And I don't think you can. Eastbound and Down is not exactly a classy show.
So Letterkenny's out, or
Letterkenny, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like they would have to come from a Canadian brewery, though.
We'll get them hooked up with 5 paddles.
Okay. They can hang out with 5 paddles, or really just the fact that they talk about puppers all the time and they just do the puppers brewery.
That works too. So yeah, that was just kind of interesting what kind of impact that one little television show will do with the brewery.
Little quote.
little show. Probably somehow related. They probably only have so much brewing space. And if they're dedicating it to Game of Thrones beers, then they're not able to produce and
Right.
consequently distribute something. Because I think those Game of Thrones those are always big beers. They're not.
Yeah, they're always big. They're always complex.
Yeah.
Some of them are aged. Some of
And
them aren't. Yeah.
the last one that they produced has been aging for 18 months in preparation for the last season.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It had wine barrels and bourbon barrels and
Yeah.
all that stuff. So they really went for it on the last beer, which makes complete sense. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You're not just gonna put out a shitty cream ale and call it good.
Right.
Although people would still buy it.
Some people have put out shitty creamy ales and still called it good enough. But yeah, I guess they kind of need a new license, I think. They need to find a new hot show.
Whatever that may be.
Whatever it is. I don't know what's popular.
That's like risky though. Like if that's what you do over and over again, and you basically typecasting yourself, so to speak, as that.
But you know what? That also differentiates yourself, because there's no other brewery that really like grabs onto licensing like that. Like the Terrapin, they put out a Walking Dead beer called Lucille,
yeah.
but they only really did 1 or 2.
Right.
They did a Blood Orange beer, an IPA, and then they did the Lucille, which was like a porter aged on 3 different woods that you make out of baseball bats.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
it was a real Negan themed beer.
I
but
see what you did there.
Yeah.
It's but they didn't become the
Right.
Walking Dead brewery
Right, and it
Yeah,
also
it's
made
still
sense because
Terrapin.
Walking Dead films.
in Georgia.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah. There's nothing. I can't really think of any other like collaborator like that. Like Three Floyds is the only other one that differentiates themselves with all the heavy metal collaborations they do.
Yeah.
Right, but that's slightly different.
Slightly, yeah, but I mean that's how they differentiate themselves. You know them as the heavy metal brewery
Right.
because they do Cannibal Corpse and Pig Destroyer, and I forget who else. I forget who they did recently. They might have just did Pig Destroyer again recently.
If it was good once, it can be good again.
Yeah, well, I think Pig Destroyer has a couple. I think Cannibal Corpse has a couple. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, so, yeah. But yeah, and then they also host Dark Lord Day, which is a metal fest.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Makes sense.
they're known as the heavy metal brewery, at least to me.
Oh, you're drinking more.
I will drink more.
Wow.
Just a nip. So what else you got, Steve?
Let's see. 7-Eleven is going upscale.
I saw that.
They're basically just going to become a Sheetz or a Wawa.
Oh, they bringing food in?
Yeah, they're bringing in, well, like food that they make on site.
Right. They're kicking out the hot dog roller.
Or kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
But the other thing, craft beer related, that they're doing is they're going to offer a growler fill station.
Oh, that'd be nice.
That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
I'm very curious how they're gonna control that.
I don't know. It's kind of like the first one they're doing, so they're launching it in Texas.
Yeah, there's other states with easier alcohol distribution laws than ours.
I'm looking
Not
at you,
everybody's-
Louisiana.
Not everyone's full of Quakers.
Also, 7-Eleven is from Texas, so that's where their test.
Are they really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
it's
yeah,
like
quote
a
unquote test kitchen would be.
mile from the original store or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, look for upscale 7-Eleven with craft beer coming soon,
I was
or
like-
just go to Sheetz where there's already craft beer.
Yep, definitely possible. Also, a handful of geckos and
Yeah, Get Goes, and I'm sure Wawa. We don't go to that side of the state,
No.
but I
Speedway.
can imagine.
actually, I don't know.
I don't know Speedway.
The only
does it.
time I go to Wawa is in Jersey, and I don't know what Jersey does with beer.
Jersey's weird with beer.
Yeah, can't remember if I've ever seen alcohol
Jersey's
beer
weird
there.
with gas.
Jersey's weird with gas too.
Jersey's weird.
Listen, I didn't want to say it outright, but yeah.
I married.
And it smells.
I married into New Jersey, and it's weird.
And it smells.
God bless them. Why can't you make a left turn?
No, we got the roundabout. Or the jug handle.
Jug
They're
handle.
jug
They-
handles.
They don't do roundabouts. They do jug.
I don't
do
know
the
who
jug
does.
handle.
Does anybody in America do roundabouts?
Colorado does
Yeah,
roundabouts.
Okay.
roundabouts are the best.
Yeah.
We have one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a mile and a half from my house. It's real nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Actually, we got two.
Where's the other one?
One in Rochester.
Oh.
That's right.
I did know that.
Everybody's super happy for that super local reference. They know the Rochester roundabout.
These guys know everything.
Let's clarify. That's not New York.
Yeah, not New York.
No garbage plates were found at this roundabout. Garbage plates are the best, though. So I have news.
Yes.
Okay.
Amazon is pushing alcohol lobbyists into DC.
Like
DC
literally?
episode, yay! They are hiring a whole bunch of them,
Oh, like they're just shoving them in.
Yeah.
and they have budgeted quite a few $1 million towards the
Oh.
paying of them and probably also paying of congressmen or whatever, because they want to be able to distribute more alcohol via Amazon. So I guess they had a wine thing that kind of flopped a little bit. I wasn't really too familiar with it, but now they want to be able to distribute not like your Budweisers and stuff. They want to be able to distribute your local craft beers. So, if you've got a favorite brewery you found somewhere in Minnesota, maybe you could pick it up in Florida, that kind of a thing.
That would be nice.
It would
Makes
be.
sense.
I don't know. I feel like on one hand, like you're kind of taken away from small business because you're taken away from your small business distributors.
Mm-hmm.
And on the other hand, you're creating a huge market for small breweries. So
Yeah,
it's good and bad, I think.
Yeah, I guess it all depends on how that works within state laws, because for a while PA had laws where like you couldn't import anything, like even though I had bought some stuff
Right.
and I wasn't supposed to, like I'd bought beers from Rogue and then I found out years later that you're not supposed to be able to do that, and I was like, no, I don't know, nobody told me. But yeah, it might be because like, so we were talking about Levante and their delivery service that they have currently,
Yeah.
and they only ship within PA. So maybe when it comes about, Amazon will have it more narrowed locally.
Yeah, because what I don't want is I don't want them to have warehouses full of beer and it just sits there for months and months.
I think that's going to happen anyways.
I don't like that.
But it's probably the beer that'll probably sit will probably be things like Stone IPA.
Mhm.
So anything that's already on a wide distro, because like you think about what Amazon sells now. They have like Pop-Tarts and all that kind of shit. All that, non-perishable goods that are on the wide scale that everybody knows. But you can't get certain things unless it's coming from a specific seller on Amazon.
Gotcha.
So I think it's going to have to be that breweries are going to have to join. Like smaller breweries are going to have to join and become sellers on the Amazon marketplace. And then that's how you would get things like Grist House and Hitchhiker. Whereas things that are already close to a macro level or a regional macro level like Stone or maybe even Avery or I almost said Green Flash, but that's
No.
yeah. But years past Green Flash.
Right.
But things like that, those are probably going to be sitting in Amazon storehouses. And they're going to sit there forever.
Right.
And you're going to get like skunked fucking IPAs out the yin yang.
Well, I won't.
Well,
Yeah.
you won't and I won't because I want to buy Stone online. I would just go to a store.
I want it now.
Yeah.
Not 2 days from now.
Yeah.
If it reduces the obsession with can release lines, I'm for it.
It probably will. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think this is something I can see a lot of breweries getting behind because it would help combat the hyper localization. Mm-hmm. But otherwise, I could take it or leave it. I drink enough local right now. I don't know. I don't feel a need to get out into the marketplace unless I'm trying to hunt down like a heady topper or, whatever is popular on Instagram.
Spotted Cow. We'll just say Spotted Cow.
Yeah,
That's always popular.
Yeah. But it's just like things like that. And if I'm hunting down those popular things, it's probably for the show.
Right.
It's not usually for myself
Right.
or even. Yeah, no, that's interesting.
Yeah, we'll have to keep tabs on that.
Yes. Okay. Well, speaking of tabs, this one's popped on the Atlas.
Whoa!
Heyo. On the Atlas Dance of Days. The Citra and Mosaic Pale Ale. What has everybody thought?
I like it. It's not aggressive.
Which is a bit ironic for being taken to house shows.
Right. It's also interesting because the can's all like bright and again, this is back to kids suck. The can's all like bright and colory.
Yeah.
It's like it's not offensive. It kind of tells you it's like, oh, it's just like hanging out in the summer, yo, having a good time, not going to house shows, popping Xannies and hanging out with your friends playing Fortnite.
Oh, God.
What? What happened to you?
I don't know.
I don't know. Register on my Twitch stream.
We could do that for the show.
Let's not.
Okay, that's fair. That was an easy convince.
I honestly don't know if you're allowed to drink on Twitch because that's what I would just want to do. I just want to play Modern Warfare and drink on Twitch.
Just yell at 12-year-olds?
Yeah. But then that's how you get in trouble, too.
Yeah, for what the beer is, yeah, it's not bad. I get it.
For what it is.
For the style.
There it is.
There you go. Yeah,
For the style.
For the style. I get it. I just wouldn't get it.
Right.
That's it.
But you'd be willing to try other things from Atlas because this didn't disappoint you.
Correct. It is not.
It's not bad.
No, it is nothing against the brewery whatsoever. What they did is well crafted.
Yes.
It's just they're trying to sell a knife at a spoon store.
Yeah. Gotcha.
I am the spoon store.
Yeah. You could have also said you're at the Leftatorium or whatever. For me, I like it, and it's something I would definitely choose to drink at a house show rather than PBR. So yeah.
Oh well, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. Actually.
Yeah, for sure. If somebody had a big cooler full of this, at a house show, I'd probably drink this over PBR. But yeah, yeah, it's a fine drinker. It's fine.
This to me is like Sunday afternoon, all the windows in the house open, sitting on the couch watching baseball, drinking beer. Mm-hmm. Just like chilled, not house show to me.
Yeah, this beer is not punk. It's like tailgate beer is what it is.
Yeah.
And it's a higher class of tailgate beer.
And it's 5.7, so you could tailgate a few of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's Green Day post American Idiot.
Wow.
Not pre Dookie.
Right.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong, but like that's insulting. It's not a bad beer.
But you know what I mean, because that's kind of where the switch was. Well, actually, it happened before that. We're not going to get into that conversation. But
Whatever.
All right, I'm done. I'm not
I
going
went
to
hard on musical references today.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. I don't have enough of a background in Green Day to really say one way or the other.
This is Green Day touring with Blink 182.
This is you tailgating that show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right before they go on at the Icy Light Amphitheater.
Oh, goodness.
And they remember Icy Light Amphitheater and the Rochester Roundabout. They know all the things.
I remember seeing the Scorpions there. That was a good show.
How old are you?
We've gone over this. Adam is 75 and a half.
Oh, my Lanta.
The opener was Cinderella.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not better.
No, it's way better.
No.
Jeez,
Brett Michaels
Pete.
show up for a guest appearance. Guys, I'm from here.
It rolls as a stone.
Men in eyeliner. Just no. Just no. Just no. If you're thinking, no.
All right, well, I'm going to take off for the rest of the segment. I'm going to go listen to some old school Cinderella. Hope you don't mind. I'll be back for segment 2.
Adam's got to go organize his rat albums.
Striper, how'd you get in there?
Get out.
All right, we'll be back.
Go on, winger, get.
Winger. Oh, my God.
Join us May 11th for the 3rd annual North Hills Homebrew Fest at the Pittsburgh Shrine Center Picnic Pavilion.
Home brewers from around the area will be featuring their best beers for you to taste while competing for the grand prize of having their beer brewed and served at Penn Brewery.
The event will feature raffles, auctions, painting with a twist,
Food from Vagabond Tacos and Oakmont Barbecue,
a live home brewing demo by Kegel Brewing.
and a live podcast by us, Hop Nation USA.
Tickets are $35 for VIP, $25 for general admission, and only $5 for designated drivers.
Proceeds go to benefit the Shriners. Purchase tickets, or if you're a homebrewer, get your entry form at SiriusShriners.org. Just click on the events tab, and we'll see you on the 11th. Welcome back, Hop Nation. This is the actual episode 103.
Actually.
But yes, we're talking DC beers.
Yeah.
District of Columbia.
Yeah. Washingtonians.
Washingtonians.
Yeah, Washingtonians.
Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
You guys want to go down there now?
Wash Nationals.
We'll go down and watch Nationals game, then we'll go up and we'll get some of that crab bake.
The hell is crab bake?
I don't know. It's like something in Maryland, I think.
Okay.
Just stick with Old Bay. Everybody knows Old Bay and Maryland is, they come together.
Yes.
Yeah. But no, the District of Columbia, taxation without representation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh,
Home
the
of the presidents.
taxation.
Yes.
So much taxation.
Home of the presidents and that big dick memorial.
Big Dick Memorial.
Nixon has no memorials there.
No, the big one. It stands by the pool.
Oh, LBJ.
Wow. that was well played.
Usually we don't get too much political into this show, but DC beers will be a little, lenient. LBJ was a real piece of shit, except for the way he was a piece of shit to people.
Old Jumbo coming out to play.
Goodness gracious.
And take meetings while he's on the pot. That's hilarious.
Getting business done.
Yeah.
Both ways.
I gotta crush this one out. Follow me in.
Oh, man.
So, the second beer comes from DC Brau, and it is the Penn Quarter Porter. It's a limited
Limited release.
It is a limited release robust porter. See, I got through Penn Quarter Porter pretty easily, but then the tongue tied.
Then
It
you-
just
Yeah, props for that.
my tongue tripped.
It's a very Lincoln-esque hat.
Well, that's because the Penn Quarter Porter is based off Penn Quarter, which is where Ford's Theater was located.
Oh.
Yes. And you can still see his hat and coat there today.
I'm a shitty American because I've been there and didn't know that.
I have not. But,
It's an old theater.
yeah, I'm sure.
And an old hat.
And an old hat.
Go to the Hollywood. It's the same thing.
I've seen plenty of old coats at Goodwill. I don't need to say anymore.
That one probably doesn't even fit.
Yeah. But this beer is 5.5%, and it's got 40 IBUs, and it's supposedly falling in between the realm of a light porter and a stout,
Wait.
right in the pocket.
Strong porter and
Yeah,
a
it's-
stout.
No, like a lighter porter, so like This is 5.5%.
Oh,
So a lighter porter would probably be about 4%, but a stout would be about 6%.
gotcha.
Yeah. I don't know.
Does it taste good? That's what I'm worried
Well,
about.
that's what we're getting to.
Right.
Apparently, it's supposed to have chocolate notes, though,
Yay,
and a little bit of roast.
Oh, okay.
Also, according to the limited release can, it's meant to be served in a tulip or a goblet.
Oh, well, sorry, Steve.
I don't care.
You don't get the tulip glass this week.
More. Looking at it, though, looks like a porter.
It does.
Smells like a porter.
What I find very interesting looking at the hen, it has a very interesting color to it.
It does have like a tinge of a red.
Yeah.
Almost like there might be raspberries in it, but I don't think there are at all.
You would think that would be something that they would tell you about?
Yeah. I think it might, if I had to hazard a guess. There's supposedly some roasted malts into it. So maybe some roasted malts added like a red tinge to it in some way.
Yeah,
Okay.
I could do it.
But yeah, looking at it otherwise, aside from that little bit of redness on the head, looks like a porter.
Mm-hmm.
It's more opaque than I expected because going back to last episode,
Right.
Yeah.
the dry Irish stout we had, it had a little bit of translucence to it to where we could see red tinges through.
Yeah.
You can't really see much bending the light against this one, so yeah.
Not very syrupy.
On the nose, I do get a bit of that roastiness, though.
I'm definitely getting the chocolate.
On the taste, I get the roastiness again. I don't know if I get chocolate that much.
Chocolate more on the nose than the taste.
It
So I can smell it.
yeah. On the backside, I get some of that as well, some of the chocolateness. It's not a particularly thick beer, is it?
No,
No.
it's not. It's not syrupy at all.
That's why they called it a porter.
Yeah. Definitely not stout consistency.
Actually, I think somebody was shooting for a stout, and it came out too thin.
And the marketing department got involved.
That's right.
And then they called it a limited release. Why?
limited
Because we weren't going to mess up twice.
Not gonna do it again.
Well played, DC Brown. Well played.
If you catch the right light on it, you can actually see a ton of red. Like
Yes.
I'm looking at Adam's glass and like the way
Yes.
that the light's coming.
They must be Camps fans.
Goodness.
They gotta rock the red.
Boo.
Agreed.
No talking hockey.
I only have
Hockey's over.
I only have one thing to say. I'm just glad we're not Tampa Bay Lightning fans.
That too.
Ooh, they lost 16 games in the regular season to get swept.
Yeah.
You poor bastards.
Yeah.
That's a
So. Yeah. Bunch of idiots.
Winners in their hearts.
Yeah. Well, guess what? That don't win cups.
But yeah, otherwise, I don't know. I like this beer.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a nice roasty flavor to it. I do get a little bit of that chocolate on the back.
I can dig on it.
Yeah.
Very diggable. Very diggable beer.
Diggable beer, DC Brau. So, what do you say we get a little bit into the history and the goings-on of DC breweries?
Let's do it.
Currently, there are 16 breweries in Washington, D.C. itself
How many
proper.
games the Lightning lost.
Proper.
Yes.
There are plenty of other breweries outside of that area.
Oh,
We
yeah.
might talk a little bit about
A little
them.
bit. Yeah.
Fairfax and Arlington are hit hard.
Yeah. Horde. But there are 16 proper, and 13 of them are carrying the independent brewer seal.
Very nice.
Yeah, so that's probably a better ratio than everywhere else. I don't.
Ratio winners.
Yeah, they win. They don't have the most, but they do have the most independent brewers, I guess. But let's jump back to pre-Prohibition. So the largest brewery that was pre-Prohibition was the Christian Hurek Brewing Company, and it was opened in 1872. It was pretty much just another one of those German lager,
Neighborhood. It was
Yeah.
a neighborhood bakery type.
Yeah, a guy from Germany came and opened a lager brewery, and then it became the biggest one in town.
Nice.
And that was the biggest one in D.C.
Germans are so good at beer.
Well, he was good enough that he kept his brewery running from 1872 all the way to 1917.
Of course.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
And then Prohibition.
Yeah.
But what gets interesting is, so around the time that the temperance movement was getting traction,
Mm-hmm.
he did try to stave off a little bit, and he started brewing some low ABV alcohols. So he tried to remain open through Prohibition, but eventually, DC just passed a law and said no to everything. So yeah,
Bastards.
so he closed from 1917 to 1933. 1933, the original brewer Christian Hurek was still around.
Oh.
Yeah, he was 75 in 1917.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so 1933 rolls around and Prohibition is pretty much all repealed all throughout, and he was mad. And he reopened his brewery.
That is
Good for him.
badass.
Yeah. In 1940, he celebrated his 40th year as a brewer.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And then in 1945, he died at the age of 102 from his injuries suffered in the war. So,
Holy shit.
Wait,
Which war?
what war?
that's not true. See, my new bit is I'm going to steal valor for people. No, he just died from being old.
All right.
Yeah, he was 102. He'd been brewing all his life. But yeah, he was badass enough that he reopened his brewery.
That is baller.
That
You know,
is.
at the age that he did. I believe his son took over for him after he passed away,
Good.
and the brewery formally closed forever in 1956.
Oh, that's still sad.
Yeah, it closed because of declining sales and because the government was basically going to build the Teddy Roosevelt Bridge through it. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
and then they did. So,
Yeah, it's a thing that happens. It's a shame. Almost 100 years.
yeah, almost 100 years. So from there, not much happened. There wasn't a whole lot going on in the beer scene.
3 weeks later.
Yeah. Well, 3 weeks or 1992.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's when Capital City Brewery opened, and that was the first craft brewery to open
Holy shit.
in D.C. Yeah, in 1992. Then they moved to Arlington.
Yeah.
So then District Chop House became the oldest in 1997. District Chop House, they're just kind of a steakhouse and brewery. So more or less everything stays in house. And that's why DC Brau, what we're currently drinking, is the first packaging brewery to open in DC since 1956.
So when did they open up?
2009.
Wow.
It actually
Yeah.
says that on the can. Not that they're the first, but it's very explicit that it's on the front side. That it was canned in DC.
Very nice.
Yeah, nobody else had been packaging their DC beers in DC until 2009.
Interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of the history of where we're at now, and that brings us to 16 breweries, including Atlas.
So what's interesting is, well, it's not really interesting, but yeah, in terms of states and District of Columbia, yeah, they're still the lowest.
Oh yeah, well obviously.
However, I believe it was, what did you say, it was West Virginia? We talked about this before the show.
Yeah, we're talking before the show. I was doing research to see like who has kind of the lowest amount of breweries, and West Virginia only has 32 breweries for the entire state.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're just barely double of what DC has to itself.
In DC, I did the math while we were talking, and it is one brewery for every 4 square miles.
Nice.
That's not too shabby.
No, it's not.
That's not even counting the other places that aren't necessarily DC breweries, but are just brew pubs
Yeah.
and bars. Because, to bring this a little bit local, Voodoo has been serving down in DC.
How so?
How so? Well, they took a shipping container and threw it in an empty lot.
That's awesome.
It's the most hobo way of doing things I've ever heard. I have this image of just like there's a railway going past an empty lot, and then they just kick the shipping container off into the empty lot and burnt holes out of it.
This'll do.
Yeah, this is it. This is ours.
You come to us. We're not moving this.
So like it was towards the end of March that they set up the shipping container, and it's actually pretty close to the Right Proper Brewery,
Okay.
which is another DC brewery.
Okay.
But they've been serving Voodoo beers out of a shipping container over the weekends, and they're now seeking permits to serve 6 days a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they don't plan on going anywhere soon, but they're just kind of investigating. You know, we talked about this with Jason Sircone about like what's going to be the first Pennsylvania brewery to, in Western PA brewery to move outside of its own market.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think I said Voodoo was probably one of them, and
It makes sense. Well, they kind of already have.
they kind of already
Yeah.
have. They moved from Meadville to down here.
Right. Well, don't they already have a place down in Florida?
I think they distro to Florida. I
Okay.
don't know if they have an actual place.
But they're cracking the door open.
Oh yeah. And then they also have a shipping container in Lancaster,
Oh my god.
and they're opening a space in State College.
That
I think
makes
they're
sense.
opening a legit space and not
That makes sense.
not hobo stuff.
Instead of just hoping CSX doesn't catch wind of what they're doing.
Right. Hey, get that back. That's ours.
Goodness.
Where are all those stereos that were in here?
You know those like pack your stuff in like basically a shipping container, and then somebody will come and pick it up and move it for you. That's like what I'm seeing in my head.
Oh, the
Like when you-
pods.
yes, the pods. That's what I'm seeing in my head.
You're really not far off. It's not that big. I actually don't think it's bigger than a train shipping container. I think it's more like a pod size.
Goodness.
I've been in brewery spaces that are smaller, so
Yeah. I'm really thinking
Say,
about renting out.
Brew Gentleman's not that big.
Yeah.
no. I was thinking Roundabout as well.
Roundabout Spirit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty small.
Roundabout, Hop Farm.
Yeah. Hop Farm's a lot more dedicated towards the actual brewing space.
Yes.
So yeah. Yeah, but they're good places. Check them out. But
So,
yeah.
If and when you go down to DC, just
Drink
like,
at Voodoo and ignore
Yeah, yeah, just,
Be rude.
yeah. Don't tell them that you know what's going on, that you work for CSX if you work for CSX.
Cool, man. Be cool.
But like with almost everybody that works in DC, you don't live in DC. So there, of course, are several breweries outside. It's honestly becoming a bit of a hotbed.
Mm-hmm.
The Nova and Southern Maryland areas, the burbs.
The burbs.
The burbs. One of the most well-known, of course, is Aslan. They have several locations, several being 3 that I know of.
Got it.
Yes. But they are most known for their canned beers. They have their distribution here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah, they're definitely a trade bait brewery.
Mm-hmm.
I'll admit, even I've been swept up by their Friday Black release.
Oh, really?
Yeah, or Black Friday releases. They're just pastry stout heaven.
Nice.
Just grossness, and I want it all. My stupid face.
So they originally started in Herndon, Virginia.
I don't even know how to say that.
Herndon.
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 You got
Spell it.
Hredon.
Wait, how'd you spell that?
Herdon.
Herndon.
No.
Oh, I
There's
missed
an
an N.
Herndon.
Yeah.
H-E-R-N-D-O-N.
N-D-O-N. Yeah. I missed an N.
Herndon.
Herndon.
You're Herndon.
I'm Irish. We just do vowels. I'm not. Now I'm out.
We do O's and apostrophes. We ain't do that.
So they have that space is where they started. Apparently what has happened was their original nano brewery expanded to a microbrewery in Herndon. And then what happened was they moved on to other spaces, and their original microbrewery tap room got converted to their canning line.
Oh, cool.
So you can buy beer there, but you can't buy beer there.
You can't get draft.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. They don't have a tap room there. Apparently you can still buy beer at the shipping docks.
Right on.
If you want to, you can go ahead and do that.
That sounds cool.
Is
That's
it also in a pod?
No, but it is in Herndon.
Second question.
Yes.
Way too much fun with that word.
Is it like a kind of fish market where there's a whole bunch of big ice bass
So awesome.
and guys in knit wool caps and
Just tossing cases
Yeah.
to one
Yeah.
another. Oh, goodness.
If I had just stupid amounts of money,
that's how you would set up your brewery?
that's how I would set it up.
Just make it look like a fish market?
Yeah.
Just a bunch of people screaming in auction, and
I would love that in my life.
that'd be so awesome.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of like fat dudes like screaming at auction to buy rare beer.
Yeah. And we shut down at 9:30.
Yeah, and
You
you
got to get there at like 5 in the morning.
Right. And you got to haggle with guys.
Yeah.
And those other yeah. Somebody has a meat hook for some reason. I don't know. It just fits the theme.
I don't know. Can release can get aggressive. We're no fish hooks. No fish hooks.
Well, not for the public. Just somebody who works there, just dragging a tuna for some reason.
Oh, goodness.
So if you actually want to sit in a Aslan tap room, you can venture all the way to Alexandria, which is also in Nova.
Which is also close.
Yeah.
DC, but not proper.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also, one of the jewels of Alexandria is Port City Brewing.
Mm-hmm.
They are actually award-winning.
Oh.
They have over, or at least, I don't know which one it is, 10 Great American Beer Fest medals.
Yeah.
Don't ask me for what. They
Beer.
Agreed.
She got it.
You're so smart.
I have my moments.
And they actually have won a medal at the World Beer Cup.
Neat.
So they know what they're doing there. They're at Port City
Cool.
in Alexandria,
In Alexandria,
Virginia.
Virginia.
Not Herndon.
Not Herndon.
So, Katie, you were down there. What was your experiences with the beers and hanging out in that area?
I feel like everywhere we went had just a really great draft list. Like, there were a few that were kind of IPA heavy, which, shit happens. But for the most part, like, you could go anywhere and get just great local beers. I didn't have anything that struck me as bad. There was one place that was kind of random almost, because it was a Asian fusion restaurant, but also they did a beer tasting. So we went to a can release and beer tasting held by the brewery, which I don't know if technically they're Alexandria, but they're also California.
Yeah, the brewery BRUE.
Yeah.
Brewery.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure where in California. For some reason, my brain's saying Sacramento, but I don't know if that's right. But they have a location also in Nova, and so they did a can release and a beer tasting on Saturday, and then Sunday they were doing a beer share at this restaurant called Highside, which has just like maybe 15 menu items. They're all Asian fusion, like some Thai food and stuff. And it is teeny tiny little place, and it ended up filled with like 40 some people just passing around beer.
Right on.
Nobody paid for anything. It was awesome.
Nice.
Actually. And there was one guy there who had spent a lot of time in England, and he brought some stuff home with him.
Nice.
That was pretty cool. The one that stuck out to me was a beer called Yellow Belly. Which,
Oh, you got some of that?
Yes.
Did you know that beer is canceled?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so for those of us that don't know what the hell you're talking about, what is the Yellow Belly and why was it canceled?
Okay, so the Yellow Belly is a beer from Omnipolo, which was an imperial stout.
Okay.
And it famously came in a wrapper that looked very similar to a Ku Klux Klan.
Oh, no.
So, well, hold on.
Well, no, that's why it's Yellow Belly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
They're
you're a
called-
coward for
Yeah.
hiding your face.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole thing is that it was anti-racism.
It seems like
Yeah.
something you can just kind of avoid altogether.
Well, people weren't smart enough to pick up on it,
Exactly.
so
Yeah. But,
it was a black guy that showed up with it, by the way.
yeah, it was all meant for, improving race relations. And it was calling, but in the end, it actually wasn't anything to do with the marketing or anything. It was just they lost the rights to it. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. Somebody else held the trademark and the copyright because again, it's an Omnipolo beer, so it's not made in America.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so somebody else held a trademark for that for some reason.
Huh.
And then they lost it, and then so the 2018, I believe, is the last year that they produced Yellow Belly.
Yep, and that's what we
Interesting.
had. I had I kept the jacket, actually. I have that. So I keep beer labels frequently, so
That's a pretty interesting one.
he
to
was
keep.
like, I'm just going to throw this away. And I was like, no, you're not. No. So, yeah, but overall, it was a really good time. If you're in that area, I think it's actually in Arlington, I think is where Highside is. It's either Arlington or Fairfax, but go there. On Sunday nights, they do beer tastings and stuff. So,
Right on.
And they have a great draft list rotating, and stuff goes quick. So,
Right on. Sounds fun.
would recommend.
Cool. All right, well, yeah.
Yeah. Good enough.
Yeah, good enough.
Yay.
there you go, Pittsburgh and other surrounding areas. North in New York, the New York Panhandle we talked to, and Ohio we talked to, California we talked to.
West
so
Virginia a little bit.
sometimes.
Maryland.
They're weird. Goddamn West Virginia. We have to do investigative journalism into why they only have 32 breweries and why they don't distro any of them into here.
Morgantown is like an hour away.
I know. Well,
and,
we have to.
and I know that there's breweries there.
I know. We have to go investigate.
Okay.
Probably only because of the college.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's the only reason.
But yeah, otherwise, let's stick to the DC beers for now.
Yeah.
Okay.
DC Brau and the Penn Quarter Porter.
It's good.
Thoughts?
I liked it.
I liked it too.
Yeah, I thought it was a good drinker. It was definitely a good representation of a dark beer, whether it be a porter or a stout.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I liked it. Would drink again.
I like the fact that they called it a porter because it definitely wasn't as thick as what you would expect from most stouts nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it had a nice roasty flavor, and it was overall just a good drinker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check plus.
I agree. Good
DC
strong roasty.
Yeah. DC Brau you can actually find in our area.
Yeah, I saw that the other day, actually.
Yeah.
They, I think they began distributing up here within the last year or so.
Yeah, I think it's maybe 2 years ago because I think their distro came with Brutal Beer Fest.
That would make sense.
Because they paired with Baroness to do a beer for for the thing.
Yep.
The
My
thing
tongue tripping.
with the
Okay.
people
So
and the
Steve
noises.
Steve is out of beer.
Tongue been pounding Xannies.
Wow.
Damn millennials.
We do not advocate pounding Xannies while
No.
drinking beer, by the way.
No.
Don't do that.
Please don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't do
The
anything I say.
podcast told us it was okay. No, we didn't.
Nope.
Nope.
At mark 1 hour and 2 minutes.
Let
You
the
clearly
record
hear it.
show.
Your honor. Play the tape or the laptop or whatever it is.
Oh,
Play the podcatcher, and I will prove to you
Got to get those listens.
that we said don't do that because don't do that.
don't do that.
So can we kind of not doctor, but adjust whatever part that is. So we're right in the middle. We can have a plug for our TeePublic site. Is that
Yes.
cool?
Yes. When submitting into evidence, I will put the TeePublic plug in so the court can hear the TeePublic plug.
Well, that's a good deal. I need to check that
So
out.
they go on tpublic.com/HopNationUSA and buy some t-shirts. All right.
All right, it's time for a break. We'll be back.
Segment 3.
Hey, Slackers, I'm Matt.
And I'm Jesse.
We host American Slacker, the show that keeps you updated on all of the weirdest news around the globe, along with what's going on in the world of Xbox, music and movie suggestions, and fun interactive games.
Every other week, we bring on interesting guests from all walks of life, from filmmakers to musicians, funeral directors to small business owners, and even Jeff Goldblum.
What? No, we never got Goldblum, man.
Oh, man can dream, can't he?
American Slacker Podcast. New episodes every Wednesday.
Available on Spotify, iTunes, and all of your smart devices, or anywhere else, you might happen to cop a podcast.
They're downloading MP3s, not buying an eighth. I'm shutting this shit down. That's it.
There you go.
Washington, D.C., we are highlighting you in episode 103, actual, of the Hop Nation USA podcast.
It's your turn, DC, on the Hop Nation USA.
On the Hop District USA.
Home District.
So, for the third beer of today's drinking session, we are bringing something from 3 Stars Brewing Company. Obviously,
On a 6-star show.
That's right. But the stars only have, or the flag only has 3 stars. So that makes sense.
If
So
it was Chicago, there'd be 4 stars.
4 stars and 6 points,
Yeah.
because the stars have 6 points on the Chicago flag.
I got it.
Now you know.
I was picking it up.
Broke my watch. That's a Blues Brothers reference. Anyway, what we're drinking from 3 Stars is the Peppercorn Saison.
Okay.
It is made in beautiful Washington, D.C. It comes at you with 6.5% ABV, 46 IBUs, one of my favorite numbers of all time. And we're going to drink it.
Okay.
It's a Saison with peppercorns.
Cool. This has a possibility of going really well or going very poorly for me.
Yeah.
Let's find out.
Saisons are on that short list of I don't trust them.
On the nose.
On the look.
On the look.
Whatever.
at it.
That's fine. We'll do
Cloudy
that.
hazy.
It is. Not a bad looking unit, though.
Nope.
Well, it depends
Why
because
does
I'm
yours
looking
look
at.
clearer than ours?
Yeah, yours looks kind of straw-ish,
What's your glass?
and ours
I don't know. My glass is dirty.
Magic glass.
Yeah, this glass is dirty.
is it really?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm just saying. It's not.
Had
It's not.
2 beers out of it. It may
Yeah.
have been clean first.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's dirty now.
Oh, it's not like okay.
No, it's not like dirty.
I was gonna
I'm
say.
just saying it's not.
What does this smell like?
It needed it needed like a well wash, not just rinsing it out.
I feel like if you wash it with well water, it's not going to get that clean though.
Probably not. There's a lot of minerals in well water.
It's true.
I drink it all the time.
It's damn true. So what you might be finding is hints of grass or coriander.
Oh, coriander.
Yeah.
Hey, have fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there
yeah.
actual coriander in the beer, or does it
It-
just smell like?
It says hints of grass and coriander. I don't know that it is actually made with coriander. I don't know
It
that.
smells like some kind of fruit of some sort. I can't pinpoint it though.
I know what you're saying. It does have a little bit of fruity nose to it.
You know what it reminds me of? Juicy fruit.
A little bit.
Juicy fruit gum.
Although admittedly, I was a fruit stripe kid.
That
Oh.
makes sense.
Yeah, tongue tattoos.
Big League Chew if I just got my allowance.
That was me. I was a big league chew guy,
That makes sense.
or fruit by a foot sometimes,
Ooh, big ballin'.
or
Bubble tape.
bubble tape. That's what I meant. Thank
Bubble
you.
tape.
Yeah, bubble tape. That's what I meant.
Nice.
Yep.
Let's drink this.
I'm for it.
Don't hate it.
I don't either.
Okay.
Definitely get the peppercorn. If I had any gripe, it's that there's not more of it.
That would be my grape too. And honestly, this reminds me more of a wit than a saison.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Not much Saison going on.
Now, anytime I think saison, I think it's more supposed to be wild, and it's supposed to be like
Floral.
floral, and you run that risk of horse blanket.
I'm actually finding a lot of like honey taste here,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which I'm good with.
Yeah, I'm fine with.
I find it to be a very, very pleasant beer. Almost like a honey ale.
And peppercorn on the back end.
Yeah, it's fine. It's I don't know. I kind of want it to warm up a little bit
Then let it.
because it does get like complex on the back end, but up front it's kind of sweet. Like you're saying, it's like a sweet honey ale up front, but the back end has a lot more like complexity in it. I don't know. There's just something on the back end is like I don't know, nibbling at me that I
It's not,
don't love.
It's not sitting well.
Yeah, just something that I don't love.
Okay,
But-
we'll keep trying.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll pinpoint it.
But yeah, it's okay. It's drinkable.
Okay.
It's fine.
So what do we do while we wait for you to figure out what the hell you're doing?
What do we do? Well, let's talk about beers.
Oh, okay.
But let's talk about presidential beers. 'Cause
Okay.
We're talking about D.C., and that's where the president lives, so I'm told.
Yes.
I've been handed a note.
Current president?
Not necessarily
I thought the current president lived in Florida/New York.
That or his winter homes.
Oh.
It's like the czars when they had a winter palace and they had a summer palace.
Man, I want a winter palace.
I know you do.
Where would you put it?
I don't care. I just want to have one. It could be a shack somewhere.
Beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you
Can we
can't say
interest you
shack
in a
and
shipping
palace.
container?
Maybe a shipping container.
That's a thing now. Just ask Pinterest.
Micro homes.
So
Voodoo, get at me. Let me know where you got that shipping container.
Adam's winter palace is he's going to rent out 3 of those MySpace like self-storage units.
Oh, goodness.
One's going to be one for him living in, one's going to be a brewing space, and one's going to be where he sells his home brews out of.
I like that. Ooh, yeah.
Just don't get caught on storage wars. You'll get in trouble.
Watch your profanity.
Make sure it's zoned
They auctioned off my
residential.
damn bed. This is bullshit.
Gone for 8 minutes.
I just went to go get a hoog.
Did you guys read this can, though?
No.
Secretly satanic, canned on 16 October 2018. Why is it secretly satanic?
I don't know.
Oh, this goes right into my realm, doesn't it? So, if you've paid any attention to the Masonic imagery and all the pentagons you can find within Washington, D.C. in the planning,
Okay.
you can find tons of pentagrams as they
Yeah.
relate to the landmarks within the planning of Washington, D.C.
Thank you, Lafayette.
If any of this is confusing, just watch National Treasure. It'll fall into line for you.
Watch National Treasure. I'm pretty sure last podcast on the left probably did something on it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, or the History Channel. I almost guarantee the History Channel has done something.
No, History Channel is exclusively aliens now.
Now I'm talking back in the day. You got to go back to like 2003 when they were still doing Hitler and the Apocalypse.
I mean, they weren't doing Ice Road Loggers.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Try PBS if you're looking for something more contemporary. It's
Yeah.
probably on there.
Yeah. But yeah, there you get all kinds of like cool maps of like eyeballs in places and pentagrams in places and the devils everywhere.
Eyeball.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, it's part of the Illuminati.
Oh, the pyramid. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Got
Yeah.
it.
It's all there.
I'm tracking.
Didn't see that coming.
That was wow. Eye puns.
But dialing back more into the real world because conspiracy theories are for stupid people and me.
Until it's right.
Oh no, I can do conspiracy theories all day. I work with people who have some. Yeah.
There are two people who like conspiracy theories. People who are into conspiracy theories and people who just like listening to conspiracy theories.
Yes.
I am the latter.
Yeah.
That is, it's entertainment.
Yes, it is.
Speaking of presidents, though, I did once in D.C. get a private tour from some random dude on the street who wanted to explain to me what actually happened to the Kennedy assassination. Yeah, to
In
the
D.C. and not Dallas.
or in Dallas. I'm sorry, in
all right.
Dallas. Yeah, no, I was in Dallas, and I really just I didn't want to go into the book depository. Like I didn't care that much. I was just like, oh, okay, let's just see where this happens. Like, oh, there's a big giant X in the middle of the street, right where the shot happened. And this guy sees me and my friend standing there and like proceeds to like, oh, let me tell you what really happened. He was like, there was no gun in the book depository. It was actually two shooters, but one was over here and one was on the grassy knoll. And this guy's going on, and there's like a chunk in the concrete on the sidewalk, and it's like one bullet hit here, and then he like gets down into literally puts himself in the sewer, and he was like because think about it, if it came from the book depository, it would have come right here into the sewer because the car would have been, and like he went on and on and on, and like
And
at
we
some
left our
point,
friend in the sewer.
and like, I mean, I didn't get in the sewer. My friend didn't get in the sewer. Just some crazy guy I've never seen before gets in the sewer. And he like didn't look homeless. Like you couldn't smell him from
Yeah.
a mile away. He looked like he'd bathed and washed his clothes recently. Like I don't know. And then like when all's said and done, he told us his whole tall tale. He was like, he's like, I do accept tips for these tours. And I'm like, buddy, you should have led with that. I'm like, I don't carry cash.
Yeah.
Because I used to work in downtown Pittsburgh. I just don't carry cash. Just it's
Right.
habit.
I don't carry cash. I live in the sticks.
Yeah. And like this was a really good show. If you'd have led with that, I'd actually hit up an ATM first, but like now we're SOL and I actually have to go. So
Yeah.
sorry,
Yeah.
thanks for your time. Good luck. Thanks for
Always
getting in that
lead.
sewer.
I know a lot of street people out there, they try to sell their CDs and stuff, and that's an obvious business transaction. If you're like this fellow and you want to give secret tours, you have to lead that you are a tour guide.
Yeah.
Yes. You have
Start
to lead
there.
with that. Gotta let people know that you are a business.
But yeah, so there's some dude near the book depository in Dallas explaining what really happened to Kennedy. So if anybody has any questions, then seek that out.
Just go to the sewer and
Yep.
yell for Dave.
You'll see it. You'll see the sewer. It's like maybe halfway down the grassy knoll as you're coming away from the book depository on the right-hand side. That sewer. Yeah, look for a dude about 5'6", dark hair.
Goes by Dave.
I don't remember that part. If he says he's Dave, don't trust him. It's too obvious.
Dave's
Or
not
just
here,
yell out,
right?
hey, anybody here a tour guide? Aside from all that,
Yills.
Presidents.
presidents and beer. Back in 2011, the White House brewed their first beer.
Yes, they did.
Yes. Barack Obama brewed the first beer on site at the White House.
Huh.
Yeah.
Bonus points. Do you know what the name of it was?
No, I didn't know
No,
it
she didn't even know what
happened.
happened.
All right.
Do you?
I do.
Okay.
What is
Let's
it,
go.
Adam?
It was Ale to the Chief.
There you go.
Wow. That's right up your alley.
That's a pretty good name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I was
as punny
impressed.
as it gets.
It had to go through committee or something first.
Yeah. It was a honey ale, and they also brewed a separate version, which was a honey porter. It was,
Honey porter.
yeah. It was brewed with honey that was made from, that was collected on the White House grounds.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, it was
Do they
collected.
have an apiary?
I think so. I think they have some bees or something. I don't know.
Cool.
But it was White House honey, and they even released their recipe
Yes.
for homebrewers. The beer is, like I said, it's a honey ale, but it doesn't really fit into any specific category. It's kind of a specialty ale because it mixes extract and grains, so you can steep it. I believe the recipe that's available is actually for a small batch that you can do on a stovetop.
Oh, okay.
So it's for
Very
like
nice.
it's like anybody to do.
I would do that.
Yeah. I was reading the way the beer came about, and it was produced with Obama and the kitchen staff of the White House. And the kitchen staff didn't really have any brewing experience, so they all just kind of came together. That's why the beer doesn't really fit any style.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
Well, let's see what this does.
so. What you're saying is it was a melting pot,
There you go. Sure.
and
Oh
it came
my
out
God.
as purely American.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah,
You're reaching.
a little bit, just a little bit.
It's actually more of a steeping pot. But yeah, that was the first beer that was brewed in the White House on premises.
Huh. Cool.
And then they shared it. A couple of people who received the Medal of Honor, I believe, got to share a beer with the president.
Very nice.
And drink it with him.
That's badass.
Yeah. But what's interesting is that's not the first. Barack Obama wasn't the first brewer president.
How so?
It's just, well, George Washington, we've talked about. He had his
Yeah.
own. He had his own recipes, and Thomas Jefferson somehow is known as the first microbrewing president.
What?
Yeah, he was a microbrewer because he brewed at Monticello.
Right.
But
Well, he himself wasn't a microbrewer. He was over 5'9", so.
Wow. You're rolling deep today.
All right, I'm done.
the Saison got him all
it's okay.
jazzed
No,
up.
you're not. We know you're not.
Yeah, the Saison
Adds
got
to
him
the
all jazzed up.
charm. It just adds to your charm. It's okay.
That's all I got going for me.
So what you got?
Yep.
You got a podcast and a TV show.
There you go.
That's true.
Always throw those out.
Most people can't say that.
That's true. That's damn true.
I have neither.
You're on the
Well,
podcast
yeah,
right
you're on the
now.
pod. Yeah.
It's not my podcast. It's your podcast.
Thank you.
I'm just blessed enough to be here.
Thank you, asshole.
Yes. But neither Washington or Jefferson actually brewed in the White House, as far as everybody can tell.
Right.
And nobody else brewed in the White House. But I was thinking maybe we could take a little bit of time and go back through the history of presidents and think of beers in a way of Marvel Comics. They have a series of comics called What If? And it's like, what if Wolverine never got his adamantium? Or what if Cyclops had 3 eyes instead of 1, whatever.
That little visor thing wouldn't have worked very well.
Yeah. What if Spider-Man was a pig and that's how you get Spider-Pig?
Spider Pig. Spider
Peter
Pig.
Porker.
Doing all things Spider Pig does.
But what if, such and such president was a brewer, and what would they brew?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I've come up with.
Oh.
Okay.
It's almost like a mini beerify it, but not.
I like it.
I took this a different direction.
Okay.
So I garnered it as what beer would they drink,
Okay.
Oh,
not
okay.
what would they brew.
Okay.
So, but
But still, that's what they would
I
brew.
came up with some of them are specific,
Yeah.
but I came up with a lot of them.
Oh, you did?
I did.
okay.
Well,
Oh.
I shouldn't say a lot. I came up with 4, I think.
No, you
Okay.
did more than me, so.
I only came up with 1.
Me too.
I did all that preamble about the honey ale.
Oh, so you're out for the rest of the segment?
No. I got one more. I got one after that. But.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so just to give an example of what I was talking about, I went back and I decided to pick William Howard Taft.
Ah.
Yes. The only president to serve both as president and chief justice.
And get stuck in a tub.
And get stuck in a tub.
Taft rhymes with draft.
Taft does rhyme with draft. Interestingly, and the reason why we have to call this a what if segment is because Taft didn't drink. He just liked to shovel food in his fucking face. not drinks, apparently.
Until he got stuck.
Until he got stuck. Taft, famously known to be the only president that was also over 300 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. He was only 5'11", but towards the end of his life, he's between 335 and 340 pounds.
And the amazing part is he's the only one. I have kitchen staff on hand 24/7. I'm getting big.
Yeah.
You'd think.
Yeah.
You'd think. But I think that's also why they started that presidential gotta go on a run.
Right. It wasn't just Clinton.
Yeah. They started that way before.
Clinton already had lung capacity. You can't play a saxophone and not have it.
But they had to take him running because he would stop for Big Macs on his runs. I remember that shit.
Yep.
I'm old. I hate this.
We're all old.
But the beer that I think Taft would brew, if he was a brewer and if he was a drinker, would be an Imperial Stout.
Okay.
Because he would go straight for the Fat Boy pastry times.
That makes
Obviously.
sense. Yes.
And because he was president from 1909 to 1913, I believe he would try to copy something similar to the Oreo Speedwagon or the Prairie Double Dunk.
Oh, that's
Okay.
a good one.
But because it's 1909, he would be using Hydrox.
Wait, did Hydrox exist then?
Hydrox came out in 1908. Oreos didn't come out till 1912.
I knew
Yeah.
Hydrox predated
Hydrox
Oreo.
first.
I just didn't know. Hail Hydrox.
I grew up in a Hydrox home.
So instead of the Oreo Speedwagon, it would just be the wagon.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Just be the wagon.
Grew up in a Hydrox home. Lucky bastard. I grew up with carrot sticks and celery with peanut butter. Thanks,
I
Mom.
had those two. It's ants on a log. You
what
get the
I was gonna say.
raisins.
Yeah, get the
Yeah.
raisins on there.
Yeah.
I don't like peanut butter.
Ooh.
Well,
yeah,
that sucks.
And that's yeah.
That's on you.
Yeah.
I know.
That's your fault.
Shit happens.
And I figured because Taft was so big that he would be top fermenting all of these imperial stouts in all the bathtubs that he couldn't fit in.
Very nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yes. So that was mine. I'm done now. Bye.
That's it.
Deuces.
So my president actually served before him, and we're talking about Rutherford B. Hayes. That's the reaction is, oh.
No, I saw a beer called Hayes the other day. Hayes Fraley. That's what it was. I knew it was a pun.
It's a beer. It has to have a pun in there
I
somehow.
mean, it's Kiss or a president. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No, I couldn't remember what the beer was. It was Hayes Fraley. It was a pun.
I mean, haven't you
Yeah.
ever seen Gerald Ford with those monster boots on before? Now I want to see Gerald Ford in those monster boots. Somebody fire up the Photoshop machine.
Rutherford.
I'll get on it.
So we are talking
name.
Rutherford B. Hayes, which is the 19th president,
Uh-huh.
and he is going to be brewing a cream ale
Okay.
because it's boring.
Right.
Wow.
And Rutherford B. Hayes is boring.
Is this like a tag team with Zachary Taylor?
Yes.
Are you just taking all the presidents
Yes.
and nobody?
And James Buchanan,
Throw Polk in there.
Yeah.
and Polk in there, Millard Fillmore.
Oh, I forgot about
See,
The most famous thing about James Polk is that's the high school that Al Bundy went to.
it scored
I was
4
he
touchdowns
actually
in
there
a
is
single
Polk
game.
County, Florida,
Oh.
named for him.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he is going to be brewing a cream ale with 4.0% ABV.
Would it be 4.0 or would it be 3.2?
So we're gonna get to that.
Okay.
We're gonna get to that.
Okay.
So it's gonna be 4.0 because it's boring.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody ever gets excited for a 4.0 beer.
No.
It's going to be
I
brewed
did.
with 2-row,
Okay.
and that's it.
Right.
That's just
Yeah.
Full stop.
full
Yeah.
stop.
Full stop.
Yeah, no flavor,
Cluster hops.
no nothing. Yeah,
It's like a dash.
Mhm.
You gotta dash it to.
you have to. You had to
yeah,
dash it.
Dash
Yeah.
it to make it beer.
Some Safale SAO5. That's your yeast.
Yeah.
Who cares? And there will be absolutely no can releases for this.
Okay.
No releases. The reason behind that is he never actually had a public inauguration.
Oh.
His inauguration was actually held privately because there was such a ruckus over his election that people thought that there was going to be, murder.
Rioting.
Yeah, rioting and
Yeah.
murder.
Yeah.
So
Duels probably back in that day.
Yes, 10 steps
Yeah.
turn.
Fuck yeah, duels.
So they actually
Bring back duels.
Worked out well for Hamilton.
Oh yeah. That shows you how old I am.
Hey, peanut butter sandwiches. Back to the peanut butter.
Yikes.
Goodness.
But yes, it's going to be absolutely boring. No can releases, no nothing. And
Good.
it's just going to get lost in time.
You know why else there wouldn't be can releases?
Why's that?
There's no cans back then.
That's true. So,
Good reason.
you had mentioned the 3-2 beer. His wife, Lucy, was actually one of the early adopters of the temperance movement.
Oh.
And she actually banned...
I don't like her.
Yeah, she banned alcohol from the White House.
Boo.
Bitch.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what she became known as was Lemonade Lucy because she served lemonade.
Known as a nag.
Lynchburg lemonade is a much better way to go.
Agreed. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some lemonade to our cream ale.
Make it a Radler.
We're going to make it a Radler. That way it gets below that 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
And it might actually be interesting, but it won't be.
Okay.
And we're gonna do that in honor of Lemonade Lucy and Rutherford B. Hayes and Franklin Pierce and James K. Polk and Millard Fillmore and Warren G. Harding.
Well, see, Pierce is one of the ones I wrote, actually.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So for all the fillers,
All the filler presidents.
this beer is for you.
The non-ruckus causers.
Right.
If you're not on money, we talking to you.
If you ain't on money, we ain't give a fuck.
Did you know that McKinley was on the $500 bill?
No, but I didn't know there was a 500. I knew there was one. I just didn't know.
I don't actually know if it's McKinley. It might be. That sounds right.
I don't know any of this.
They did away with it.
Yeah. It's old money.
Most of the presidents are.
So that's mine.
Okay.
Yeah, so I kind of basically just did what I thought they would drink.
Okay.
Pierce was actually a raging alcoholic.
Hell yeah.
So I put him down for American Light.
Oh. That's mean, but that's right.
Oh, it's on the money. Yeah.
That's any port in a storm drinking, so yeah.
I'm gonna pat my own back on that one. I've tried that swill before, actually.
Yeah, me too.
We all have. It's terrible.
Half a can. I split a can with somebody, and oh man, to date might be my lowest rating on Untapped. Actually, I think I gave it a quarter.
Nice.
I drank it pre-untapped, so...
Yeah, same here. I actually, the one time I drank American Light, it was actually in a frat house when I was in college.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, I was at my friend's house. She's an optometrist.
Nice.
Was not frat boy stuff. FDR. I kind of figured FDR would go for something barrel aged.
Okay.
Just because he had such a strong love of scotch and brandy, and he was actually pro-alcohol. He was against prohibition, so he would definitely go that route. Andrew Johnson, I went with Delirium Tremens for being shit-faced at his own inauguration.
Nice.
Yeah.
But also because he actually didn't drink.
Really?
Yeah, he wasn't really a drinker, so that was why he ended up shit-faced, because he had no idea how the alcohol was going to affect him. He wasn't feeling well, and it was kind of a, here, drink this, this'll help to get through the night, and instead he was trashed, and yeah, if you ever listen to Hardcore History, they tell a great story about Johnson, and no, I'm sorry. I'm lying to you. It's Gin and Tacos. Gin and Tacos has the Andrew Johnson drunk at his own inauguration story. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So fuck you, Dan Carlin.
No, also not fuck Dan Carlin.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I read that wrong.
So that's it. That's all 3 podcasts I listen to. The one I'm on. There you go. And then George Bush, I figured for Shinerbach. Well, George W. Bush
W.
specifically.
Yeah.
Because his daddy ain't a drinker. Wasn't, I guess. I guess he kind of died a few months ago. But anyway, yeah, I figured him for Shinerbach. 1, brewed in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and you know how the Bushes feel about Texas. And then basically just a classic American beer. So I figured that one. But that's today, GW.
What would Jeb?
Oh,
Jeb would want something from Florida.
Oh, yeah.
well, I figured Young Day GW would go with Bud Platinum.
Probably.
Because
That makes
Bud
sense.
Light or anything, or Coors Light is like too lowbrow for somebody whose dad can buy them out of stuff.
Right.
But also like strong enough and easy going down enough that you could, maybe get a DUI or 2 with them.
Yeah. But
So.
platinum in a tutor.
Yeah, pretty much. So and you know they both go good with pretzels, and we know he likes pretzels.
Yeah.
Just inhales them.
That joke had a fuse.
You're welcome. So that was my mentality. So I obviously took this in the wrong direction,
No.
except for FDR, because he would definitely have brewed anything barrel aged. He would have gone strong and robust. And
I would recommend the Fireside Chat by 21st Amendment.
oh, that's a good one.
If you're looking for presidential beers,
Yeah.
they have a whole bunch, and then Yards has a whole bunch.
Very specifically Yards. Yeah.
I think Yards, they kind of try to replicate old recipes. They have what is it, Poor Richard's Tavern Ale, which is like a spruce ale for Ben Franklin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously not a president. But
No, not a president.
but
That's
he
a
is
good beer.
He is a money man.
Yeah.
See, if I thought about Ben Franklin a little bit, something framboise-ish.
Something French.
Something French, yeah.
Something French.
Something
Yeah.
Frenchy.
He like to get into that French shit, man.
And those French women.
Yeah, pretty much.
Guys, I gotta go on another trip. No, you don't, Ben. Stay.
No, it's fine.
No, I'll go over there and talk to them about something.
Listen, you've got your stove, you've got your bifocals, you've got your mail. I'll be back.
Look, guys, I made you them bifocals. I'm gonna go to Wawa, get a hug. I'm gonna take the boat over.
You just made Pennsylvania a lot smaller than it actually is. If I ever go to Philadelphia and hear somebody say yins, I'm leaving.
Yeah,
I'm out.
I made a whoops.
Oh, you want to hear a really quick funny Philly story?
Yes.
So my mom was in the Army, so she's actually been other places, but I think sometimes she just forgets she's been other places than Pittsburgh. And so we're in downtown Philly. She had never been there before. And for some reason, we're walking everywhere we went. And we went to a bus stop because we're walking past a bus stop. And she wanted to know how far away New Jersey was. So she asked this guy, a random dude at a bus stop, how far away is New Jersey? And he's like, oh, it's over the bridge. And my mom's like, oh, which bridge? And he's like, the bridge.
The big one?
And she's like, yeah, but which one? He's like, the bridge. Like, and he like can't wrap his head around that. Like, this guy cannot figure out like what my mom is asking, and my mom cannot wrap her head around the fact that there's just one bridge. Because I guess when you have like over 700 of them, one bridge is just like
It's a bit of a landmark in Philly. They have smaller,
Which
minor
bridge?
ones, but
the one bridge.
The bridge.
Great draft house under that bridge, by the way. Yeah, I can't remember the name of it, but I know it's there.
I think there's a Dave and Buster's down there too.
Is there?
I think so.
Not a huge.
you're
D&D
thinking of
fan.
you're thinking of that Pittsburgh Bridge again.
Yeah, there's a Dave and Buster's under a Pittsburgh
There
bridge.
is. That's true.
I don't even know. What is that bridge called now? It's not the high level anymore. They changed it.
I don't know. Is it just the Homestead Bridge now?
I thought it was the Homestead Grays Bridge
It is. You're right. It's the Homestead Grays,
Okay.
in honor of the Homestead Grays.
There you go. Yes.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yes.
which are old, like all these dead presidents.
Yay. I'm just thinking about Ben Franklin going to the ye old Wawa. Going to the ye old Wawa. I'm gonna get me a water ice, and I'm gonna take the boat over.
Why does Ben Franklin have a Pittsburgh accent? I have questions.
It's a Mid-Atlantic accent. Yeah,
It's got it. It's a mishmash.
it all kind of fits.
He's over there in Orange County.
It goes. That accent goes as long as you don't say yins. That's how I messed it up.
Johns.
Yeah, Jones.
Johns.
Tan.
Huh?
No, Johns. Johns is their
Johns.
everything word in Philadelphia.
Johns.
Yeah.
Johns. JAWNS.
That's why in the Shannon Creek.
It's a person. It's a pronoun.
Oh.
It's just an all-encompassing word.
Huh.
Yeah.
Today I learned.
That's how you fit in. You gotta say Jones and you gotta say water.
John's water.
Yeah. Jones want some water.
Water.
Ugh.
But yeah, the Mid-Atlantic accent encompasses Philly, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and Delaware. You can do all that.
And Delaware.
If you can master that, you can say I'm taking Amtrak going down to Rehoboth.
I would go as far to say parts of West Virginia also.
Probably
You're
the
going to catch like the
Panhandle.
Harper's Ferry stuff
Yeah.
in Charlestown.
yeah.
Yeah,
Not Charleston.
not Charleston.
Charlestown. Learn your history. There's a battle there.
But there you go. There's your presidents. There's your Mid-Atlantic accent usages.
And that wraps us right back into this Peppercorn Saison by
From
3 stars.
DC.
From DC.
Where there were presidents.
And Satanism.
But yeah, that is just bizarre. I really
Hail the devil.
Secretly satanic.
1/3 of the show, Hail the devil.
Canned on. Secretly satanic, but also canned on the state. Cool.
So what do you guys think of this beer?
I don't know. I didn't love it, and I think it's because of the style I don't love.
All right.
I enjoyed it.
I did too.
Actually, a lot.
I thought it was a good drinker.
I was hesitant to actually bring it.
Yeah,
I'm glad you did.
I think it's okay. I don't hate it. It's just, I don't know, something about it.
Not your jam.
Yeah, not my jam.
That's okay.
I've had other beers, and like I said, this reminded me a little bit more of a wit. And I've had beers that were wits with peppercorns that were just a little bit better.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you did that deliberately, it might go.
I like if you make a good wit with orange and peppercorn, ooh boy.
Yeah, we
Yeah, I
still
can-
need the coriander. Coriander's not killing you?
No, it's not bad.
Soapy?
It's not bad.
Good.
There you go.
So I'll take that action.
Cool.
Do you believe it is time to go to the podium? Because I believe it is time to go to the podium.
Sure. If none of you else have
Podium.
final thoughts,
No, I think we covered it quite well.
okay then.
Ta-da.
Steve, you go first.
Sure. Bronze, I'm going to give it to the 3-star Saison, Peppercorn Saison. Like I said, I don't know, something about it is not gelling with me. I don't love it. So it is bronze. Other people obviously like it, so be like other people, I guess. Silver, I'm going to give to the Atlas Dance of Days, the Citra and Mosaic Pale Ale. It's just a really easy drinker. It's a good replacement for lower tier beers, I think. Like if you're tired of bringing PBR or macro or I don't know, just things that have little to no flavor to them. This one actually has flavor. It has a nice smell to it. You know, there was a little bit of bitterness on the back end, but that doesn't bother me at all because it nowhere near approaches things that I've had in the IPA realm that just ruin your palate. This one doesn't.
Oh, yeah, definitely not a palate wrecker.
Yeah, absolutely not. So there's that's why silver goes to the Atlas. It's just really easy drinking. You can take it anywhere. Take it to a Nationals game. How about that? In gold, though, I'm going to give to the DC Brau Penn Quarter Porter. It's a really good drinking porter, and it has a nice roasty flavor to it, and it exemplifies what a porter should be, being that it's low in ABV at 5.5%, and it's not terribly thick. Like, it's not scissor, it's not full of adjuncts.
Scissor.
Yeah, it's not a mess. It's a very classic beer with a very nice roasty flavor to it. So it goes beyond what you would find in lesser stouts and porters. You know, not to say that Guinness is lesser, but there's more roastiness in this than you would find in a Guinness. So yeah,
Right on.
that's my rankings.
Okay. Okay, would you like to go, or would you like me to hit it?
I can.
Okay, go for it.
Exact opposite.
Oh.
Yeah. So the Penn Quarter Porter, nothing was bad. Let me start there. Nothing was bad. The Penn Quarter Porter, for the fact that it was supposed to be somewhat stoutish, I didn't think that it was. And I also didn't really think that it was robust. It was a good porter, but it was almost a generic porter. Kind of just, I don't know, just your everyday, any day porter. Didn't stand out to me, I guess. So that's my bronze. And then the Atlas Dance of Days is going to be my silver because, I don't know, it was good. It wasn't overpowering by any means. I could definitely drink a few of them and feel okay about it, but it just kind of reminded me of like a cool, relaxing summer day, just chilling out and having a beer. And I actually really like the Peppercorn Saison. If I had any gripe about it, it would be could use a little bit more peppercorn, but I felt like you caught more of it as it warmed up a little bit. So yeah, 3 stars Brewing Peppercorn Saison is going to be my gold.
Right on. For myself, I am going to put the Atlas Dance of Days in the bronze medal position, to the surprise of no one. I get it. I'm just not going to get it. Yes, it's a well-crafted beer. It's just not for me. If there are certain situations that arise that I'll drink it, or that I'm going to drink it, yeah, I'll drink it, but I'm not going to seek it out. Yes, it is a good afternoon beer. Yes, it is a good beer while you're weeding your garden to drink it. but it's not going to be in my fridge. So for that, it goes in the bronze medal position. Things get a little bit more dicey up in the gold-silver area. I could go either way, I'll be perfectly honest. But I believe that I'm actually going to put the DC Brau Penn Quarter Porter in the silver medal position. It was a good beer. I liked it. Had good characteristics to it. And there was nothing wrong with it. I thought it was a good beer. I enjoyed it, and I would drink it again. But the 3 stars, the Peppercorn Saison, that is the gold medal. The 3 stars gets the number 1 star. I was pleasantly surprised by this. I didn't think it was going to come through that well, I'll be perfectly honest. I wasn't expecting much, but no, it was good. It was pleasant. It had a good sweetness to it. I was a little afraid with that coriander coming through. It didn't. I liked it. So for that, it goes in the gold medal position.
Cool. Well, then, I think that's DC Beers for the week. We did it. We get to check another one off the list.
Yay.
Thanks, DC.
Yes.
And thanks, Katie, for bringing us beers from
Yes.
DC.
Of course.
Yes. Katie, our field reporter. So, if you want to find us on social media, all you have to do is search Hop Nation USA, and that'll get you Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And if you want to find us and listen to new episodes of the Hop Nation USA podcast every Friday, as you should, just search Hop Nation USA on your favorite podcatcher, including Stitcher, Podbean, Google Music Play. Nope, it's Google Podcasts now. Why has everybody got to change things?
I don't know.
Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star review because...
We are a 6-star show, but they only let us use 5.
And that's twice of what 3-star brewing is.
Yay.
Math checks.
Yes, math checks. I did it. I got basic math.
I saw you scribbling in your notebook.
Yeah,
Now I
we
know
went
why.
to school pre-Common Core, so...
Right, I don't have Common Core.
We can do that.
Strangely, I actually learned Common Core in college.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. For whatever reason, they thought I was a remedial math student.
Oh. Weird.
And they put me in this it wasn't Common Core per se, but it was all about learning how to do practical math in your head.
Oh.
They had a college course for that?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
That way everything that you like doing tips and doing like any kind of multiplication, and I think it was up to like minor algebra.
Oh,
Being
okay.
able to do all of that up in your head rather than fucking around on paper.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Actually, I can see some serious applications for that.
Yeah, it actually really does.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad course. It did help me. I know it sounds like
Yeah.
like I'm explaining like a dummy course, but
Yeah, that sounds like a Greendale kind of thing.
it's actually, yeah.
See, we're old because we all had math teachers that said, you're going to have to learn this because you're not always going to have a calculator in your pocket. And guess what, math teachers? You're wrong.
Snip, snap.
Yeah. Snip, snap, gotcha. Steve Jobs got your ass, bitch. Ah!
Thank you, Apple.
All right.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm good.
Okay. Episode 103 in the books. We'll
Did
be
the
back
thing.
with episode 104, and that will be something else.
Not this episode, but a different episode.
Yes.
That is 104, and actually 104, not accidental 104.
Right.
We hope.
Look, we didn't come in with a bang. I don't think we should go out with one.
Bang.
Hey, let me throw one in there, Denise.